What is going on, good people of YouTube? It is me, Chavez. I am back with another MLB player prop video for you. Today is Sunday, June 18th, 2023. Happy Father's Day to all you fathers out there putting in that work. As always, I hope this video finds you all doing well and in good spirits. You can see the plan of action right there on the screen. That's what we'll be doing today. Recapping our plays from yesterday, going over our partnership with Thrive Fantasy, and then we're jumping into both the underdog and Prizepicks board because I have 3 player props that I want to share with you today. So if all that sounds good, I encourage you to stick around, drop a like, sub up, and click that notification icon to get notified of all upcoming content and videos from me and my channel. And without further delay, let's jump into our plays from yesterday. All right, 2-2 on the day yesterday. Not bad. Listen, I know that everybody wants perfect slips. I want perfect slips. I can guarantee you right now that nobody wants my slips to hit 100% across the board more than I do. However, going 2 for 2, it's important to kind of break down and understand why we went 2 for 2. So let's start with the 2 plays that did not hit for us. We took the over Lucas Giolito's strikeouts, and he finished with one shy of pushing that. He needed 2 more to go over that. Had a really good matchup versus Seattle. We talked about the high strikeout rate of the Seattle Mariners and how T-Mobile Park presents a very pitcher-friendly ballpark in terms of a lot of run production being suppressed, but it just wasn't enough for Giolito yesterday to go over his strikeout prop, so we took the L on that one. And then we took the L on Dansby Swanson's hitter fantasy score. Again, another good matchup for him. He had the at-bats, he had the matchup, he finished with 5 hitter fantasy points. We needed anything over 7, so anything over 7 would have gotten it done for us yesterday. Just wasn't his day, unfortunately. The 2 props that did work out for us, we go over Joey Wentz, 4.0 strikeouts. He finishes with, I believe he finished with 5 strikeouts yesterday. And then we took the over on Mike Trout's hitter fantasy score over on underdog. We talked about it being a really good value play on underdog. Anytime we can get that under 9.5, pretty good value for an underdog prop. Finishes well over that score. So final results, 2-2 on the day. Look at a bounce back today on a Sunday afternoon. Now, Sunday baseball is super weird because a lot of players will rest, a lot of catchers will rest, and you've got the backups in. It kind of throws things off a little bit. So I always think to say this, but never do on a Sunday, but beware of those things when you're making your plays and understand that Sundays are a little bit weird for the MLB. So before we get into our plays for today, let's quickly go over our partnership, our promotion with Thrive Fantasy. All right, Thrive Fantasy, here's what you need to know. 100% deposit match up to $250. Just make sure your deposit is $25 or more to enjoy that perk. All for using my promo code Chavez. You'll enjoy a very friendly payout structure while you're on Thrive Fantasy. So more money for you when your slips hit, and in addition to that, you get a free square for being a new user using my promo code Chavez. You can pair that free square up with one other prop, damn near guaranteed 3.2x your entry amount, or you can go for the bigger payout, the big payout, that 20.2x your entry amount by taking that free square, teaming it up with 4 other plays, trying to go 5 for 5. But regardless of how you do it, make sure you do it using promo code Chavez so that you can enjoy all the good things, all the perks, only over on Thrive Fantasy. All right, here we are over on the Prizepicks dashboard. We'll spend a few minutes going over these 2 player props that you see on the board, and then we'll head on over to Underdog and talk about 2 player props that I like over on their platform. Now, if you got what you want, as always, I wish you the best of luck. If you want to stick around and listen to me break these down, then that's what we are about to do. So we're going to do something a little bit different in this video because I want to talk about the same player prop, but on 2 different sites because we're getting 2 different lines, and I like them a little bit differently on each platform. So that player is Yoni Chirinos. We're getting his strikeout prop at 2.5 over on Prizepicks. We're getting almost minus 150 odds for the over on this one. We'll quickly break this one down on props.cash, and then I'll show you why I'm a little conflicted with this prop because there's supporting information. There's information that supports playing the over and under on this prop. So let's head on over to props.cash and break this one down. All right, Chirinos on the season. You can see his game log over on props.cash. 2 out of the last 9 starts, he's gone over 2.5 strikeouts. He hasn't touched 3 strikeouts in back-to-back games yet this season. Now, he does have a favorable matchup versus San Diego today, who is striking out at the 8th highest whiff rate, I guess, at 23.6, but they're also doing a really good job at drawing walks. They're ranked number 1 in the major leagues at drawing walks, which when you see this number, the lower this number is, the greener this number is, the more this favors the under on the strikeout prop. So if this was at 30, then it would make a lot more sense as to why you would want to play the over on his strikeout prop. But I mean, you can't ignore these odds, minus 150, almost minus 150, and 2.5 is a very, very low number. I think there are 3 strikeouts in this lineup for Chirinos to get. As long as he's pitching into the 5th inning, over that 4 2/3 inning, getting into the 5th inning, he should see 3 strikeouts. I say that very hesitantly because this line got bumped from 3 to 2.5 and kind of threw everything off for me. But over on Prizepicks, I think this is a line where you would take the over. And so we'll roll with it. We'll side with the line makers here. Minus 149. Let's go over. 2.5 pitcher strikeouts for Yoni Chirinos is prop number 1. All right, prop number 2. We're looking at Ronel Blanco, 5.5 pitcher strikeouts, and this one just literally got bumped down to 5. So this has been happening all morning. To be honest with you, it's really frustrating, really irritating, and to be honest, I'm still going to break this one down, but I would not touch it, to be honest with you. Let's head on over to props.cash, and I'll show you what I was looking at for the under on this one. All right, so Blanco on the season has had yet to go over 5 strikeouts. So at 5.5, the under made a lot of sense, but now it's at 5, and we're getting better odds at 5. Now he's gone 5 in back-to-back games, so he's pushed this. Now these are also games that he has pitched, into the 5th inning. Prior to these games in relief duty or spot duty, he wasn't really getting a full run. Now past 2 games, he's gotten 5+ innings and he's gotten 5 strikeouts in each one. So I guess you can look at this and say the more innings he pitches, the more strikeouts he will get. But that's not really how Major League Baseball works. The more innings you pitch, the more film there is on you, the more there is to study, and the more teams can break down your mechanics and start to figure you out. So it could be the fact that he has pitched very few innings to start this season off, contributing to his high strikeouts per inning, ranking there. I mean, my question is, if he was really that good, would he be in the starting rotation to begin with? So I liked it at 5.5. I like the under a lot. Now it's at 5. I mean, you could go under on this one, but I really think you're playing for the push right now with this prop. So whether you go over or under, I think he finishes with a push. This line gets bumped back up to 5.5. Definitely take the under. I mean, if this line were to get bumped down to 4.5, take the over. But for now, oh man, I hate to do this on a video, but I'm gonna stay away from this play over on Prizepicks. Just really unfortunate that we saw that line bump, but that's how it is sometimes. So again, I'm leaving it up to you. If you want to take the over on this one, go ahead. If you want to take the under on this one, I think you got high push potential with Ronel Blanco at 5.0 pitcher strikeouts. All right, over on underdog, let's look at Yoni Chirinos strikeout prop at 3. I like the over on this one. I'm way more confident about this prop over on underdog. And I told you that we're looking at the same player prop on 2 different platforms. We're getting 2 different lines here. So on Prizepicks, we're going to play the over on it because the odds are in heavy favor of that over. But on underdog, we get it at 3. So for all the numbers we looked at versus San Diego, them being able to draw walks and making pitchers work, it really makes more sense over on underdog. So liking the under on his strikeouts, the lower on his strikeouts on underdog. Now, Brian Reynolds, let's talk about his hitter fantasy points today, sitting at 7 versus Freddie Peralta and the Milwaukee Brewers. I like the over on this one. Let's head on over to props.cash and look at this together. All right, for me, this play for Bryan Reynolds has everything to do with his history versus Freddie Peralta and his numbers versus right-handed pitching. So let's take a look at 24 plate appearances versus Peralta, 7 singles, 1 double, 1 triple, and 1 RBI. But he's batting, man, .474 batting average. So he's making contact and he's hitting safely. He's getting on base. He's producing. Now, you're not getting a lot of power versus Peralta, but for him to go over 7-hitter fantasy score on Underdog, you don't need a lot of power. You just need production. So looking at what Reynolds has done versus right-handed pitching this season, 6 home runs, 3 triples, 14 doubles for a .283 batting average. So he's displaying a lot of power versus right-handed pitching this season. Batting from the left, facing left-handed pitching, not so much. Luckily, Peralta is a righty. Now, what Peralta has done versus righties and lefties, it kind of doesn't make a difference for 2 reasons. Number one, the production is damn near identical. So he's given up, the same amount of production, the same amount of power to both sides of the plate. But also, Bryan Reynolds is a switch hitter. So, whichever side of the plate he wants to bat from, Peralta seems to be giving up production, to that. So nothing to really, worry about in terms of, righty versus lefty, lefty versus righty kind of thing, because Reynolds is getting it done from both sides of the plate this season, and Peralta is giving up production to both sides of the plate this season. So everything here makes me like the over on this one. And if you want to just take a look at his last 5 games, Reynolds' last 5 games, we can see that he has gone for 6 hits, runs, and RBIs in the 5 games over his last 5 games. No home runs to speak of, no RBIs to speak of. 3 runs scored here, and in terms of hits, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, numbers look a little low, but again, we talk about these matchups. Sometimes they come around at the right time, and it is what a batter needs to get back on track. I think Freddie Peralta presents that to us today. I think he helps Bryan Reynolds get back on track. So let's go with the over 7.0 hitter fantasy score for Bryan Reynolds to round out our plays for today. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for today's video. Thank you so much for stopping by, checking this video out. Drop a comment below. Let me know what you like on the board, as well as your thoughts on our plays on both the Underdog and Prizepicks board. As always, thank you so much for all your support and helping this channel get a bit bigger every single day. Best of luck to you all should you tail any of these plays. And until my next MLB player prop video, Chavez is out.